Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer. Yes, I know there's no music, as I'm trying to become more professional. I now have editing software, so I don't know how good these videos are going to turn out. I may just end up uploading the ones without music if I can't figure out how to get them edited correctly, just so I can keep pumping them out. I know I'm super behind at the point of recording this. You're going to see me basically in the same hoodie, the same lighting, all that, in probably 8 to 10 videos, because I'm bulk recording right now. I had midterms. Let's see, I had midterms the last 2 weeks, so uploads have been very sporadic. I tried to bulk record right before I started having to study for finals and then delaying to get them up. I just didn't get everything recorded I needed to in time. So I am currently bulk recording. This is video number 2 of bulk record. I believe I have 8 to 10 to do still. So that's why everything's going to look the same. We're going to start things off with the FWL. If you haven't checked out the Draft League review for the Chicago Charizards, the team that I'm rocking with this, because like I said in that video, I don't have access to my Beartix logo. Unfortunately, since I'm in the D League, the main league has a Beartix team already from Chicago, so I can't run them. So we revived the Chicago Charizard X's, or not the X's, but the Chicago Charizards. Were represented by the X, but we are the Chicago Charizards. You'll probably see, you probably would have seen the logo and team unveiling video as well. That went up. So definitely watch those two before coming back here, and we will. I'll see you guys when you come back from that if that's what you're going to do. Otherwise, we're going to roll right into it. So just a quick recap to remind the team that I have. We have Mega Beedrill, Victini, Togekiss, Alolan Ninetales, which, as I said in the draft video, how that thing was a tier 3, I will never know. Mandibuzz, also a tier 3, I don't understand. Araquanid, Electrode, Garchomp, Empoleon, I have this in front of me. I made some transactions, which I'll talk about in another video that I'm recording here. Trevenant, and what did we have? What else did we have? Hitmonlee, that was it, Hitmonlee. Obviously, because I couldn't remember Hitmonlee, I did drop Hitmonlee. Spoiler for the transaction video that'll be coming out as soon as FWL Week 1 Team Builder and Battle are both up on the channel. Then we'll jump into some transactions I made. So that's the team we're rocking with. We have a very bad matchup this week. We're playing Philadelphia Fanfees. Coach Was22, his information will be linked, his YouTube channel, and I think that's all he gave me was his YouTube channel. Will be linked down below. If you want to check him out, that's fine. Otherwise, if not, your guys' choice. He does do a lot of Draft League stuff from what I could tell just perusing his channel for a little bit. Very scary matchup, though. He's got Mega Lopunny, Tapu Koko, Suicune, Zarina, Tornadus, Mesprit, Kecleon, Zygarde 50%, Drapion, Steelix, and Chandelure. Because I took Victini, I obviously wasn't running with a Chandelure this time, even though I know Chandelure is one of my staple mons. And I didn't draft Escavalier, and I know I talked about that in the other video. I'm trying new stuff, like legit trying new stuff that I'm not used to using outside of, I think Alolan Ninetales is the only mon that I've consistently used in Draft League format before. I know I had Garchomp and Togekiss on another team. The GPC, I believe, is where I had those two. Would you settle down back there, please? But I never really got that rolling because we only played 2 matches. So, very scary. Biggest threats, Mega Lopunny basically outspeeds everything except Beedrill. Tapu Koko, basically just, I don't have a switch in for a Tapu Koko. It punches holes through my team. Suicune can be very bulky. Tornadus can prankster set up a bunch of things to help his team. Zygarde 50% can D-dance in my face. Chandelure can do work just in utility-wise. Kecleon can be a rock setter with its protein ability. There's a lot of threats on this team, and I will be the first one to admit I spent so much time prepping for this. We played this match will be played. I've played the match as of recording this, by the way, so I know the results, and I'm going to try not to spoil it like I do every time I record a team builder after I play a match. As a front office, we spent a ton, and I mean a ton of time with this team. I think we went through 16 or 17 different combinations of this team. We had a Alolan Ninetales on this team at one point to bring. It didn't really do much. I wanted to bring a Raquinid. We didn't bring a Raquinid. I wanted to potentially bring Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee didn't really fit that well. Togekiss is set. The first Togekiss I brought was a Flinchax Togekiss. It was designed to T-Wave. It was T-Wave, Air Slash, Roost. No, sorry. T-Wave, Air Slash, Wish, Baton Pass. That's what that Togekiss was supposed to do. It was supposed to Flinchax things to death and then Baton Pass into like a Victini or a Garchomp or a Beedrill wasn't on the in that team build, just to try and utility and then Flinchax some stuff to death if we could. Mandibuzz had a different role. Trevenant wasn't on the team to begin with when we first started building. So we went through, I kid you not, we went through probably 14 or 15 teams trying to figure out a team for this match. I think I played close to 40 test matches, not just with my front office, but I did outsource a few test matches when my front office was asleep, and I was freaking out at 3 o'clock in the morning about this match, and luckily I have a couple of friends in Australia that I can bounce things off when I need to, when the rest of my front office is asleep, and played a bunch of matches there. I didn't team build with that person. I just played matches. I said, here's the team you got, here's my team, build against me, and let me just run over and over and over against you until we do this. So with that all said, here's where we actually ended up landing. You can see from the recording screen the 6 that I'm bringing. We'll go over the movesets and all that. So the first thing that I wanted to bring in, that's not what I meant to do. I am running dual screen right now as normal. Philly, there's the team. I got their team pulled up here so I can kind of reference that back and forth. This is not a league I'm running. This doc isn't one that I'm running, so I don't have nice fancy team sprites to show you. I'm just going to talk about that. So we brought Choice Scarf Garchomp with rough skin, so that way if anything makes physical contact, it's going to get hurt by it. The Choice Scarf is so we can outspeed Mega Lopunny. We can outspeed a +1 Zygarde, as long as it's Jolly. Even +1 Jolly, we calced enough speed to outspeed that, and then we're faster than basically everything on his team, except for a Scarf Tapu Koko, which my front office pointed out Scarf Tapu Koko is coming, and I had to agree with them. They were 100% right. Scarf Tapu Koko just runs shop through my team, and I have zero answers for a Scarf Tapu Koko because Scarf Tapu Koko outspeeds a Scarf Chomp. And as we go through the team, we'll talk about it. I am praying that this is not a physical Koko. If this is physical Koko, I get run over. I have no answers, zero answers for a physical Tapu Koko, and that's something that my front office brought up, was that we need to prep for that. We just had no answers on the team for this. We barely had any answers for a special Scarfed Koko. So Garchomp with Earthquake. If the Koko is going to be the designated switch on the Garchomp, we Earthquake it. Earthquake catches the Steelix, catches the Drapion, catches the Chandelure, because a knockoff Pursuit Trapping Drapion is incredibly, incredibly scary. If I lose my Choice Scarf, I don't outspeed everything but Koko, just because we didn't invest full speed into this. Dragon Claw to get rid of that Zygarde. Basically, it OHKOs the Zygarde, unless that Zygarde has some bulk to it and is relying on D-Dances to get better. We have Rock Slide to hit the Tornadus, to hit the Chandelure. It does decent damage to Tapu Koko. And then we have Brick Break. Brick Break was kind of more of a my choice move. I picked Brick Break because I wanted to hit. I figured Brick Break to hit the Lopunny on the switch in to put some damage onto it, and then I'd have to switch into something else to take the hit from Lopunny. So that's where I wanted the Brick Break, and it was going to be a lot of what happened in my mind. What was going to happen in this match was we're going to be feeling each other out as we play. Like, I'll switch in, he'll switch in, so on and so forth, to see what our designated switches to things are, to get a feel for each other. And that's where, if I can keep my prediction game going, if I know that Lopunny is going to try and come in on this, I hit Brick Break. If I know Zygarde's not coming in on it, so I don't have to click Dragon Claw. If I know that Koko might be coming in, then I hit Earthquake. If I know Suicune's coming in, then I hit probably Dragon Claw to do big damage, and then I have to switch out, that sort of thing. So that's our Garchomp. We did run a Adamant max attack, just so we hit as hard as possible. 124 to get us to 271, which when we multiply by 1.5, that's going to take us 135 plus a few. It takes us to, I believe it takes us to 317. It takes us to 318, which is +1 on a max Zygarde. Actually, we don't outspeed Zygarde if it D-dances. That's the other thing we're worried about, is a D-dancing Zygarde. So that's going to be our Chomp. We are bringing Victini. Victini went through a lot of revisions. With those 14 to 15 different test teams we ran, Victini saw a lot of revisions. We agreed that it was going to be Expert Belt from the beginning, just so we weren't choice locked, and Expert Belt is wonderful because it gives you the same effect. It gives you an attack boost. It's a little less than a life orb, but you get the ability to switch moves, and you don't take the life orb recoil, and it can still OHKO a lot. Bolt Strike to hit the Suicune, Bolt Strike to hit the Tornadus. Bolt Strike does a lot of damage to everything outside of Steelix and Zygarde. V-Create just doesn't do a lot to Suicune. If Chandelure is Flash Fire, it won't hit Chandelure, but it allows us to hit really, really hard as well with Victini. Glaciate, because in numerous tests, I had Zen Headbutt on this. That was kind of the last move that I'd picked, was Zen Headbutt. But just through test runs, we realized that Zen Headbutt's not good. In this match, it was really only coming for Mega Lopunny, switching in and then hitting the Mega Lopunny. It would OHKO the Mega Lopunny, but we need Glaciate, because if the Zygarde is going to come in, if he doesn't bring Steelix, then Zygarde is probably his best bet to take a hit from Victini. Especially if he knows that I'm carrying. Once he knows I'm carrying Bolt Strike, he'll just switch in from because he'll bring Suicune in. The first time I'll Bolt Strike. If it doesn't kill for some reason, Victini will live a hit from a Suicune, and then he'll switch out, and then the next time it comes to Victini versus Suicune, he will switch in Zygarde. I'll Bolt Strike. The Bolt Strike will miss or fail because he's ground and immune. Then I can't hit him. I have to U-turn out to get back into Togekiss or something, or Garchomp or whatever, and he gets free D-Dance, and we're carrying no Haze or any of that on this team this week, so once he gets a D-Dance, we're screwed. So we have Glaciate, because that at least allows us to pop the Yachi that he's probably carrying and hit him hard. And then we outspeed a max speed, no boost, no Dragon Dance boosted Zygarde, and we kill with a second Glaciate. So that's why we switched to that. And U-turn. And this is where both my front office and that friend that lives in Australia that I was testing up against, momentum. We have to get momentum throughout this entire game. That's why we carried U-turn and baton pass on a lot of mons, so we can keep the momentum running and not allow him free setup as much as possible. We went with 252 attack. We had to go Jolly in order to get to a speed point where we could beat the Zygarde, where we could get above a Jolly Zygarde. So we had to run a positive speed nature ourselves. Because we have Glaciate on this set, we didn't want to drop our special attack, so instead we dropped the Spadef. So we're running naive nature, and then the remaining 40 that we had, we decided to put back into the Spadef to try and mitigate that negative Spadef nature. I wish we could have run max attack, but we couldn't, just because we needed to run the speed to get above Zygarde. So that's our Victini for this week. We have Togekiss. Now, the item on the Togekiss changed a lot as well. At one point, it was a lefties Togekiss, and I just didn't feel... I made the decision to change the item off the bat. So, or right at the end there, my front office and I never really talked about it. I just made the change myself. I put the red card on, and the reason I put the red card on is this thing is so bulky. It lives a Tapu Koko hit just by the sliver. It lives a Tapu Koko hit. And it forces Koko out, or it forces anything that hits me out into something that he doesn't have control of. So if he hits me, red cards into, say, Zygarde, I just Dazzling Gleam. I live the hit, I D-Gleam. Or I D-Fog to get rid of rocks, because my team is very weak to rocks right now. Like I said, we made some free agent changes, but right now I'm very weak to ice and very weak to rocks. So I wanted the red card to force him to have to switch back into something and then give me a little momentum. Defog, Dazzling Gleam, Wish, Baton Pass. We are carrying Defog on this. That way we actually have multiple Defoggers this week, just because rocks are so bad for my team. They chip me down so bad. They hurt Beedrill, they hurt Mandibuzz, they hurt Togekiss, they really hurt Victini, they hurt along the Ninetales. Like, rocks are essential for my opponent to bring. And if we lose one Defogger, then he gets to bring them back in for free, and it really limits my ability to switch around and U-turn in and out and all that. So, double Defog. Dazzling Gleam, this was another move where I had Air Slash for a long time, and then in test runs we realized, the front office told me and I realized they were right, Dazzling Gleam is actually better. It hits everything a lot harder. Wish, just because if my team starts to get worn down, I can Wish Pass into Beedrill, I can Wish Pass into Garchomp, I can Wish Pass into Victini, I can Wish Pass, God, that's going to get me all season, into Trevenant, because Trevenant is my direct Koko counter, unless it's a physical Koko, when we talk about that. And then Baton Pass to get momentum or pass the wishes without having to take a hit from Wish Passing. Like I said, we ran very bulky, almost max bulk. I think this is about max bulk Togekiss. We put everything we could into HP. Since Spadef is higher, we put more into the defensive side and went with the bold nature, dropping our attack because we're running a special attack and Dazzling Gleam. And then put a crap ton into SPDF so we could take hits left and right. Basically, this thing is a floating tank this week, and we have to have it that way just so I can survive hits and baton pass and all that. I have to avoid getting hit with Toxic, too, on Togekiss. Actually, everything has to avoid getting hit with a Toxic, really. I can't afford getting whittled down at all this week just because of that Lopunny and that Koko and that Zygarde. Any sort of chip damage I take is just easier for it to those mons to clean up, and then I lose my support. So we had we literally brought 3 defensive walls, 3 offensive. Like, it was all or nothing. We had 1 defensive mon for every offensive mon we brought to try and do this. Next up is our Mandibuzz. We went with Overcoat. I don't know why we went Overcoat. Oh, yeah. Super Luck. Serene Grace. Dazzling Gleam has no secondary effect. Hustle didn't do anything, so we figured, okay, maybe we get lucky and get a crit D-Gleam on something to hit hard. Mandibuzz. Big Pecs. Didn't really... we knew we weren't running weak armor because we weren't lowering our defense, so we kind of just went with Overcoat when we were bringing Alolan Ninetales, and then just sat with Overcoat, and that's where we were at. Big Pecs didn't really seem to matter that much. We have our second Defogger. In Mandibuzz. U-turn to continue that momentum switch, so Victini can switch out, Togekiss can switch out, Mandibuzz can switch out. Just rotating between those 3. Beedrill will have U-turn on it too. But just to keep momentum, keep getting into matchups that are good for us, keep passing things around if need be. This thing is built to live a plus 1,000 arrows, and then hurt it back after leftovers recovery with Brave Bird. We were running Foul Play at one point, but Foul Play did absolutely nothing to Zygarde. So we just went with Brave Bird for stab, flying hit. U-turn we talked about, and then Roost just so I can stay healthy. Like I said, I have to keep myself from getting worn down, and Mandibuzz has its own built-in recovery. Roosting also helps us take Thunderbolts a little better, just because we'll lose our flying type for that turn. Running at max bulk on the defensive side. This one's a very physical wall. Togekiss was a mixed wall. Mandibuzz is a physical wall, and Trevenant, as you'll see, is a special wall. 252 HP, 252 plus defense. We ran Impish to drop our special attack because we don't need it, and boost our defense. This thing is just, it literally is a defensive. I hate, as most people know, I run hyper offense teams. I absolutely hate defensive mons. I hate playing defensive. I just don't care for defense. I hate stall tactics. It's just not my playstyle. I've always played balls to the wall, hammer down, don't let up, and continue to attack and attack and attack and break through them. I'm trying new things. As I said during the draft recap, I'm trying new things. This is one of those new things. I have defensive mons. This is what we're doing. We're running defense, and we'll do it. So that's where this Mandibuzz sits. Trevenant. You're actually... Yeah, there we go. That doesn't make a difference, but except to me. Trevenant with Assault Vest to raise our SPDF. So Assault Vest Trevenant is the only answer to a Tapu Koko that's special. Mixed Koko or physical Koko will destroy Trevenant, and then I have 0 switch-ins for a Koko. Assault Vest Koko, or Assault Vest Trevenant with just HP and SPDF investments. I will live, I think it's 23 to 34% from a Thunderbolt. And if he's Scarfed, he's locked into Thunderbolt and has to switch. Carrying Earthquake because we're thinking, well, not we're, but my front office was thinking that Drapion would come to this match, and we are still thinking Drapion could come to this match as a pursuit and knockoff trapper. And so if Drapion is switching in, then Trevenant Earthquakes the Drapion switch, does about 50% to it, and then I can go into, unfortunately, if it's pursuit trap, then I get put in a 50-50 where I either, if I predict he's going to pursuit me and try to kill me that way, then I EQ, Drapion goes down, no more knockoff, no more pursuit. Conversely, if I get it wrong and it's knocking me off, it will outspeed me, it knocks me off. I live on just a sliver depending on how the Drapion is built. In test matches, the Drapion that I faced, I lived on 1% from that knockoff, and then I EQ'd to kill it back. And that's why it is pertinent that we have Togekiss to Wish Pass, because if Trevenant goes down before Coco goes down, then Coco beats my team. Foul play to hit the Zygarde if it tries to set up, because this thing sits in front of Zygarde very well. Horn Leech to hit the Zygarde and recover some health back. Hit the Suicune to get health back. This Assault Vest also helps us take Ice Beam from Suicune. Tornadus will run through this thing though. Horn Leech, Horn Leech is there for recovery. And then Shadow Claw to hit the Chandelure, and then just also to give some Stab Ghost move for us. Plus, Shadow Claw has a very high crit ratio, so we could get some crit Shadow Claws to maybe punch some holes through things. Nature Cure didn't really have much to do here. And we aren't running a berry, so there's no reason for Harvest. So Frisk is really good because I can scout that Coco. When I bring this thing in, it'll frisk Coco, and if it says Choice Scarf, then I know Coco is Choice Scarfed, and it can get locked. It can lock itself into there. So I can also see if it's a banded Zygarde, if it's a leftover Suicune, if it's a Z Crystal Tornadus, just all that sort of thing. So having Frisk is very critical to me because it allows me to plan down the line. Running with a lot of bulk, max attack. When we were running spreads and all that, we had more on the Spadaf side, less in the attack. I think we had 116 in the attack, or something. Maybe it was 150 in the attack and more in Spadaf. But in test matches, Drapion lived 2 Earthquakes and I'd die. So I switched it to max attack because I guaranteed a 2-shot Drapion even after Black Sludge recovery. So then bulk in the HP to take hits and bulk on the Spadef for the Assault Vest. And the final mon we're bringing is our Beedrill, Mega Beedrill, with Drill Run, U-Turn, Knockoff, and Poison Jab. Adaptability will be its move, so it gets the stab bonus of 2 on its U-Turn and its Poison Jab instead. Drill Run will hit the Coco switch really hard. Drill Run hits Drapion hard, and it hits Chandelure hard. It will hit Steelix pretty hard too. U-Turn for momentum to switch around. U-Turn is also going to do a lot of damage to Mesprit if it decides to come as the Rocker. It will do a lot of damage to Zarina if it comes. I don't know why it would come, but it would do some good damage to that. Knock off, just so we can smack some items away. This thing is the fastest thing on my team, and the way we built it outspeeds everything short of a Scarfer on his team. So having knockoff and fast knockoff, or hard-hitting knockoffs, because Mega Beedrill, if most of you don't know, has an insanely high attack stat. I think it's base 145, which is huge. It just wallops with a knockoff. and I can get rid of some items that way. And finally, Poison Jab for that Coco. If he's got Mesprit with Levitate and Tornadus, then obviously he can switch into those on a drill run from a Beedrill. So having that Poison Jab to get the Coco is huge. That Poison Jab will kill the Coco. If he thinks if he brings Coco in, I get Beedrill in, and then he sees me drill run, he's going to know he can switch. He can predict me, or he'll see the drill run, then he knows that I won't be able to. I'll know he knows that I have drill run, and so the next time he gets into a bad matchup with Beedrill but wants to bring in like Coco for some reason because it's Scarfed, say he slow U-turns into Scarfed Coco or something, I can catch with a Poison Jab because he'll be expecting me to drill run or he will expect me to not drill run and maybe U-turn out instead, and so then I can Poison Jab. I'm sorry if that didn't make sense because I'm starting to really wear down here and get tired, and it's already only video 2. So yeah, there we are. We went with Jolly just so we could get that 408 speed, so we outspeed Mega Lopunny. This Beedrill outspeeds everything on his team short of a Scarfer, so if anything hits me when they both come out at the same time, if anything hits Beedrill before Beedrill hits it, then I know it's Scarfed. So this kind of helps me scout out for Scarfers. Max attack, just so we tear through things. We don't need special attack, and our special attack is piddly. It's base 150 attack. It's base 145 speed. And then we put what we had left for speed because there was no point in going any faster than 408. We can't beat a Scarfed max speed Coco. Even if we put the last 76 into speed, we wouldn't beat it. So just to give ourselves a tiny bit of bulk in that. So that's going to be the team. Again, we got the Garchomp, the Victini, the Togekiss, the Mandibuzz, the Trevenant, and the Beedrill. That's going to be it for this week 1 of FWL. Hopefully we don't repeat how we have repeated draft leagues in the past. Every league that I've played in, I think even WWC, if I remember correctly, I'm going to check that real quick because I have it pulled up. Yep, WWC, LMC, GPC. I think the only league I've ever started where I didn't lose my first match was the DSL. So we're going to try and avoid that loss to start the season and maybe get on the right foot. So that's going to be it for the FWL Week 1 Team Builder. The match will go up tomorrow. As of the day of recording this, the match will go up the next day. And then we'll keep going and just keep trying to succeed. So thank you all for watching. As always, you can check out the artwork down below. Griffin the Amazing Artist. You can join the Discord server and hang out with me when you're not on YouTube watching my videos. You can hang out. My front office is in my Discord server as well. It's a very chill place, very friendly, family-oriented place. More than welcome to come hang out. We do all sorts of crazy shenanigans on there. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.